this 12-6 self quiz. Much like the 12-6 worksheet, it's actually mostly review on unit circle. We just do a little bit of the period stuff. And then most of it's unit circle. That's not more important, but that's the thing that needs more practice mostly. So we're gonna start here. Determine the period of each function. So remember, you want to start. I always like to start the origin and go, okay, how long does it take to repeat itself? So you go up, you go down, you go up again. So this is the period. It's not here because if it was there, it would just be going up, down, right there. You go all the way back down and back up again. So all the way to here. So 4 pi will be my period. Now over here, right? So I like to start the origin. Again, you can start anywhere. You can start here if you want to and see how long it takes to repeat itself. I'll start the origin so it gives me a good eye line. We gotta get all the way back there, right? So up and back down. Right, so you go up and back down, and does that repeat itself? Then you go up and back down. So yeah, so it's actually just 2 here. 2 is my period. So we have a period of 4 pi and a period of 2. The next one, so they give us what cosine is and tell us what quadrant it's in. So remember the way you do that, you want to draw a triangle in that quadrant. So I'm going to draw a triangle. It doesn't matter where, it's just to help you picture what's going on. Those are some bad things. Like this. There you go. Like that. Thank you, notability. So something like this. Right? Oh, and this would be my angle. Right? The angle is always next to the x-axis. Sorry, next to the origin. And then how do I fill out the sides? Well, you know what cosine is. So toa. A over h. So my phi is my adjacent, which would be this guy. And 13th my h. So now this, and then I gotta find the missing side, which in this case is one of the legs. So a squared, b squared, c squared. Now again, a and b don't matter, but c has to be 13. This is actually a triangle you should know, or eventually you would know. It's a 5, 12, 13 triangle. But we'll do it anyway. So phi squared plus b squared equals 13 squared. 25 plus b squared equals 169. Minus 25 minus 25. B squared equals 144. Square root. And b equals plus or minus 12. So it is 12, and now you got to worry about the signs. You're going to right, so it's positive, and you're going down, so it's negative. Hypotenuse is always positive, so don't worry about the hypotenuse. Again, that's one way to do it. Another way to do it, if you want, is all students take calculus. We're in quadrant 4, so the only thing that should be positive is cosine. Everything else should be negative. Okay, so let's do this. Sine, so, right, so opposite of hypotenuse, so opposite is negative 12, hypotenuse is 13. Tan is toa over a. So opposite is negative 12, adjacent 5. Secant opposite of cosine, sorry, the reciprocal of cosine. I keep on saying opposite, it's reciprocal. So you just flip cosine. Well, cosine, they gave it to us, 5 over 13. So secant to be 13 over 5. So there we go. Now we'll do some, wow, now we're going to do like 9 unit circle practice. Again, this stuff's really important. And again, my hope is that eventually you can start kind of using your head. Like cosine 60. Right? You go, okay, it's cosine with 60. Like, I always draw that triangle in my head, especially when it's 60. Come on. Right, so it's 60. I know the opposites are at 3, adjacent to 1, hypotenuse is 2. Then you go, okay, what's cosine? So, So 1 over 2. Again, that's because it's the first quadrant. It's an easy one. Some of the other ones are a little tougher, but that's eventually when you kind of get there. Cosine of pi over 2. So here's 0, here's pi. So this is pi over 2p right here. And then it's a point, so you have to know it. So that is 0, 1, because you went up. And then it's cosine x or y. Sine e. So cosine is x. So the x value. So this is just 0. Tan of 5 pi over 6. Here's 0, here's pi. Common denominator. So we want 5 pi over 6, right? We're going this way. We haven't got there yet. We're in quadrant 2. We're a little short of 6 over 6. Once you know that, over 6 you should know automatically is 30 degrees. Opposite is 1, hypotenuse is always 2, and that's rad 3. Again, I don't care if you want to do all students take calculus or know what's negative. We went to the left, so this should be negative. Hypotenuse is always positive, and we went up. Tan is toa, so opposite of adjacent. So negative 1 over rad 3. All the fun ones. Cosine 19 pi over 3. Whoops. So here's 0, here's pi. 6 over 6. Remember, I gotta go all the way to 19. So if this is 6 over 6, you go around again, you get 12 over 6. You gotta keep on going, you gotta get 19. Go around again, you get 18 over 6. So it's only a little bit past that, right? So 6, 12, 18, 19. So in quadrant 3. It's over 6, so it's automatically 30. We should know the sides by now. 1, hypotenuse is always 2, rad 3. These are both negative because you went to the left and you went down. Hypotenuse is always positive. Cosine SOHCAH. So adjacent over hypotenuse. Negative rad 3 over 2. Next one, sine of 16 pi over 3. Here's 0, here's pi. 3 over 3. We're gonna go a long way in this one. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. A little bit past that, 16. So like last time, we're in quadrant 3. I just go over it again, right? So it's all about common denominator. So you have 3 over 3. Go another 3 over 3 would be 6 over 3. So you had another 3 over 3. So 9, 12, 15. Now you want to get to 16, so a little bit past that. Again, over 3, we show the angle. It's automatically 60, which makes the opposite side rad 3 because it's the big angle. Hypotenuse is always 2, and this side's 1. Negative, negative. And then we're doing sine, so rad 3 over 2 again. Tan of 5 pi. 0 pi. Remember what I talked about last time? Shortcut for this is when it's just like a normal pi one. Odds are on this side, evens are on that side. So odds on the left, evens on the right. Pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, 5 pi. So it's the point right there. So this is negative 1, 0. Tan is sine over cosine. Sine is y, cosine is x. So 0 over negative 1, or just 0. The last 3 real quick. Cotan of 150, so that's more normal. Here's 0, here's 180, here's 90. 150 between those two. Go down to the x-axis. The difference between 150 and 180 is 30 degrees. That's how far apart they are, so that's your reference angle. And again, we show the triangle, right? Opposite 30, 30 is small, so it's a 1. Hypotenuse is always 2. That's a rad 3. What's negative? Down there, you went to the left. Hypotenuse is always positive. Cotan is opposite of tan. So tan is TOA. So you can just find that real quick. Opposite over adjacent. So that's 1 over negative rad 3. But then we're doing cotan, so flip it. Negative rad 3 over 1. Cosine of pi over 3. Remember, if there's no number on top, it's in quadrant 1. So here's pi over 2, here's 0. Pi over 3 is in quadrant 1. Anytime there's not a number in front, it's in quadrant 1. Unless it's pi over 2, which is on the line. And then we go down to the x-axis, make a little triangle. Pi over 3 is 60 degrees. So we should know the opposite side is the big one, rad 3. Hypotenuse is always 2, and this is 1. You're in quadrant 1, so everything's positive. And then cosine, ka. Adjacent hypotenuse. Sine of 3 pi over 4. 0 pi, 4 over 4. 3 pi over 4, we haven't got to 4 over 4 yet, so we're a little short, so we're up here. Make it a little triangle. Over 4 is automatically 45. That's an isosceles triangle, so it's a 1, 1, rad 2. Hypotenuse is always 2, just is it radical or not? It's only radical when these two guys are 1. So 1, 1, rad 2. Hypotenuse is always 2-ish. And then sine is opposite of hypotenuse. So 1 over rad 2. I should have checked my signs. This is a negative down here, but it didn't affect my answer. And there we go. That's the self quiz.